For one of the first times in PGR eSports promotion history, we will turn left and right. As tonight, it's another edition of PGR eSports Sunday Funday. Tonight, we bring the NASCAR Craftsman Trucks Series trucks to the road course in Watkins Glen. I wish you a last-minute good evening and welcome inside the PGR eSports broadcast booth for tonight's coverage of Sunday Funday. It's been a while since Sunday Funday has seen the airwaves of PGR eSports Network. And of course, if you do need the refresher, this is something that these guys do to blow up a little steam, have a little bit more of a unique, fun race on some different combos that we don't usually get to see in the midst of all the super speedway racing that we do throughout the week. My name is Dawson Weiss. I'll be bringing you all of the action tonight. Happy to have you with me here for some Sunday Funday action. Again, the truck's at Watkins Glen. Qualifying is just wrapped up from the racing surface. And with that being said, it's time for a quick transition down to track level as we get ready for racing here tonight from Watkins Glen. This thing is going to start with some heat races tonight that will set the grid. They will be 3 laps in length before we run a 20-lap feature here in just a little bit. So again, they qualified for spots in their heat. They will race here in a heat race for a spot in, or rather, everyone's going to make the feature, but they'll race for their starting spot in the feature here in just a little bit. With that being said, let's go through the starting order for this first heat race of the night. It's actually going to be the starting order for the features, so we will not be able to use that. But here are the drivers that will be featured in this opening heat race of the night. Jackson Byes and Hunter Reynolds will line up on row 1. Byes, of course, a PGR regular in truck number 33 driving the Ram. Hunter Reynolds, a bit of a guy that we don't expect to see over here on the PGR eSports side of things. He makes his start tonight Sunday Funday on the road course in Watkins Glen. Row 2 going to be David Flanagan and Matthew David Wood making a PGR start tonight as well in Sunday Funday. He had one of the best laps in the qualifying session just a little bit ago. They'll go 3rd and 4th. Matt Lee and Max Dinda will line up on road number 3. Another pair of PGR regulars will go from 5th and 6th. It'll be Trevor Osmernoth and Quentin Steinbach back on row 4. It'll be Wyatt Gray back on road number 5 alongside Brock Westmoreland. James Waring and Dustin Cowan round out a field of 12 here in this opening heat race of the night. Now, in the feature in just a little bit, you will see that we do have a controlled pace car tonight as part of this race. As the pace car will be operated by Matthew Baker tonight, the race controller. We're going to let loose a little bit on tonight's broadcast. Nothing crazy, but we are going to let loose just a little bit tonight. Have some fun. That's what these guys are here to do. So that's what we are here to do as well. Road course racing, not in the forte, I guess you would say, of the PGR eSports contingent. So tonight may feature some interesting moments of racing, shall we say. But happy to have you along with me for the ride. Go ahead and share the link. I know this is a very last-minute broadcast. This was not advertised well. I had not planned on doing this, but after seeing the amount of guys that had come out to compete tonight for Sunday Funday, I figured, why not? Let's get in on the action and commentate some Watkins Glen and get onto the road course and see what these guys have when it comes down to business time on the road course on the lefts and rights of Watkins Glen. Jackson Byes, Hunter Reynolds on the front row. This is the first of what should be 2 heat races that will set the grid for the feature. Let's have some fun, shall we? Sunday Funday, heat race number 1 is underway from Watkins Glen. Down the hill to turn 1. Look at all these guys turning right, trying to get to the inside, the shortest way around. 3 wide with Matthew David Wood through the center. Reynolds goes wide. Wyatt Gray goes wide. Another couple of trucks try to go wide. It's Wood alongside Byes for the race lead. Matthew David Wood was fastest in qualifying just a little bit ago. One of the fastest trucks, rather, in the qualifying session. Jackson Byes trying to hold him off. He's the black and gold Ram. Matthew David Wood, the blue, white, and red. Racers for Christ 21 running second. Flanagan is still in 30. Overtook Hunter Reynolds, who's lost a couple spots on this opening lap. Max Dinah off track in the 48. Can he make the save? No. He's going to come back across. He'll collect Trevor Osmernoth. And the first couple of trucks get around in this heat race. Again, everybody's going to make the show. This just determines your starting position. Back up front, battle for the lead. Wood off track alongside Jackson Byes. Into turn 6, he'll have the more dominant position here down to this left-hander. Byes will have it up for turn 7, though. If he can hold alongside him, he runs a little bit wide into the runoff area. Back down to turn 7. Flanagan looms in the blue 31. Byes a little bit loose off exit. Wood to the race lead. Here in heat race number 1, he'll take it all the way down the hill past the start-finish line. Flanagan may take a look on Jackson Byes. This will be for P2. As Flanagan gets in there, Byes locks the rear tires up under braking. Flanagan turns right underneath him. He gets loose on exit. This truck's proving a little bit hard to drive here early in the going. Matthew Wood away with the lead. Byes away with second. Then it is Flanagan. Then the battle for 4th was Matt Lee and Hunter Reynolds. The green, pink, and black machine was on the move, but he scrapes the inside wall there of turn 4. The S trouble. Flanagan and Byes come together. They both make contact. Flanagan slides sideways. Reynolds passes all 3 of the cars that had trouble up the S's. He'll go back to second where he started this race at. Byes goes back under attack of him. Meanwhile, Wyatt Gray attacks David Flanagan for 5th, but he's going to go around. Wyatt Gray around in the Money Lap Toyota Tundra. He gets it back going after a couple of spins. He'll lose some spots. Back up front, it continues to be Matthew David Wood away with the lead. Hunter Reynolds second, Jackson Byes third, Matt Lee 4th, then Flanagan. Somehow Trevor Osmernoth, that we saw involved in a crash a moment ago, is all the way up to 6th. Flanagan, Matt Lee, battle for the 4th spot. White flag, heat race number 1. Flanagan away with that. He'll move back up to the 4th spot. Trouble, Brock Westmoreland around and hard into the inside wall out the exit of turn 7. He's got major rear damage to his Westmoreland Heating and Cooling Ford F-150. He'll try to get it back going from the pit entry. He'll have to start towards the tail end of the field. By the way, Dustin Cowan did not take a lap in this opening heat race, as he has not yet logged a lap at any point in the opening part of this session. Another heat coming up. This is not the end of the race, by the way. Another 3-lap heat, then a 20-lap feature. Oh, trouble. Byes is around. The 33. Can he make the save? He's still trying to save it. Back to the right and into the inside wall, and right front damage on his car. Now Reynolds away with second. Flanagan away with third. He almost spins it on the exit of turn 5, as does Matt Lee. But up front, really no surprise here. Matthew Wood got the lead early, kept the lead throughout the race. He'll come off turn 7. He'll win the opening heat ahead of Reynolds, Flanagan, Lee, Buys. Rest of the order, Wyatt Gray, Trevor Osbernoth, Quentin Steinbach, James Waring, Max Dinda, and Brock Westmoreland. And big trouble after the checkers. Oh my goodness. Those have got to be the best rated walls for safety that I've ever seen that kept those cars inside the racetrack. As Flanagan came in there like a bowling ball. GoBowling.com at the Glen used to be the race every year, and he just bowled a strike. So Matthew Wood walks away with the win in heat race number 1, and it's time to get underway for heat race number 2. Before we get going, we'll also try to tell you the groups for tonight and how the payouts are going to work. We'll do that between the second heat race and the feature race coming up in just a little bit. But another heat race is still to come, and let's give it a lineup for this one. On the front row, the Mobil 1 Toyota Tundra makes his start tonight, returning for the first time since PGR 500 competition. DJ Thomas will start from the pole here in heat number 2, alongside the 97, the Precision Chevrolet of Axel Smith. Row 2 going to be Isaac Smallwood, makes a PGR appearance tonight in truck number 10. Casey Sprinkle will go to his outside, or rather to his left, in 4th. Asher Little and Cameron Craighead back on row 3 with Matt Patton and Malik Ray on row 4. Ethan Eckert and Mike Davenport on row number 5. It appears that row 6 is going to be Chase Mistretta and Danny Barnes. Keith Haley listed on the order. Does not appear that he'll make a start tonight. He is listed on there, though, in the 1. This heat 3 laps, just like the other. And then we'll set the rest of the grid for the feature race coming up right after this. 20 laps. You won't want to miss it, by the way. For what it's worth, there is no damage tonight in these Craftsman trucks. So keep that in mind as to how these guys race. But as I have been told, there is no damage. So Thomas, Smith, Sprinkle, Smallwood, Craighead, the top 5, green flag. Off we go, heat number 2. Even start up front, Thomas and Axel Smith. How early does everybody break? To the inside, the 0-1. One car trying to go wide, trouble. Around went Matt Patton. We'll keep it up front, 3 wide. Sprinkle, Dinda, and Smallwood away with the lead is the Mobil 1 Tundra of DJ. Get that solved, and we are back. Thomas continues to lead back down to turn 5. Isaac Smallwood, Axel Smith, Cameron Craighead, Casey Sprinkle. No, that was not your audio. That was my audio. Having a bit of an issue, but we're all good now. Thomas defending from Smallwood. Let me know if this still sounds bad. I've done everything I can on my settings, but we can obviously take a break between this and the feature. Chase Mistretta's crashed, by the way, in the 8. He is at the tail end of the field. I know we got some fans of Isaac Smallwood in the chat. He's taking the lead for the first time here in heat race number 2 from DJ Thomas. Smallwood, not a guy that we're used to seeing in the PGR ranks, but made a start tonight in Sunday Funday. And a good effort for him so far, leading heat number 2, but he goes wide in the bus stop. Thomas tries to pounce around the outside. No dice there. Smith going to try to get second from him as Thomas tries to get the lead. A big wide exit for the 1 of DJ Thomas. Can't get to the outside of Smallwood. Now Smith and Craighead will attack him. That's for the second spot. More crashing. Davenport and Eckert have both had problems, but not enough time to go and check that. Big slide from DJ Thomas. That was a huge moment for the 1. Listed as the 19, by the way, on your timing and scoring there. but he is the one on the side of the truck. White flag heat number 2. Eckert, big slide out back. You saw him in the Verizon Ford F-150. Big dive to the inside. That's Axel Smith. And runs Thomas a little bit wide. Craig to the inside. That would be for third. Thomas maintains for now up through the S's. Sprinkle is in this battle as well. Nice 4-car battle for second. Trouble. Around goes Cameron Craighead. He saves it off the outside wall, or on the left side wall. Chase Mastretta's had another issue in the 8. He's gone right to pit road. Nice flyby cam there at the bus stop. Smith forward to second ahead of Thomas. Sprinkle up to fourth with the misfortune of Craighead. Blake Ray actually took advantage. He's up to fifth. But up front, I wondered how many trucks would compete with Matthew David Wood tonight, the 21, who was the fastest guy in the practice session earlier and the fastest in qualifying. And impressive, to say the least, for the Smirnoff Toyota Tundra. Again, a guy we're not used to seeing on the PGR side of things. Comes to the lefts and rights and takes the field in his heat race to school. How about it? Isaac Smallwood captures heat race number 2 at the line. He'll start up front for the feature as Sprinkle goes around behind him, and they're all going to leap off turn 1 and make an impact. Is Smallwood. Here comes Axel Smith. Some more crashing happening out back with Asher Little. Even more across the line. How about it for Isaac Smallwood? So he'll start second for the feature race that's coming up here momentarily. As we get ready to run it, let's tell you what the groups are. This is how the payouts are going to work tonight. So there are payouts on the line. Let's tell you how those are going to work tonight. So the field has been randomly split into 2 different groups. It's based on a random wheel spin. And they will be paid out as such. The top 5 in each group will get a payout. And here's how that payout will look. The winner of each group will get $75. Second, $45. Third will get $35. Fourth will get $26. And fifth will get $21. Those actually are going to scale back just a little, not quite getting to that 30 entry number. As the warm-up session starts on the racing surface. So it's going to scale back a little ways because of not getting to that 30 entry number, but you get the idea. The top 5 in each of the 2 groups will get paid out. Here are how those groups have been drawn. Group 1 is the following drivers. Danny Barnes in the 7, Mike Davenport in the 55, DJ Thomas in the 1, Axel Smith in the 97, Brock Westmoreland in the 12, Quentin Steinbach in the 22, James Waring in the 13, Matthew David Wood in the 21, Wyatt Gray in the 18, Asher Little in the 01, and Cameron Craighead in the 48. Group 2, the following drivers, the rest of the field. Matt Patton in the 3, Chase Mastretta in the 8, Jackson Bias in the 33, Malik Ray in the black and orange number 1, not to be confused with the one of DJ Thomas. Ray driving the familiar Tint Solutions colors tonight. David Flanagan in the 31, Hunter Reynolds in the 26, Matthew Lee in the 04, Matt Lee that is. Isaac Smallwood in the 10, Ethan Eckert in the 12, Max Dinda in the 48, the Dude Wipes 48, Cameron Craighead driving a custom black and white Jack Shack 48. Max Dinda, or rather Trevor Osbornaut in the 89, all gray tonight for him, and Casey Sprinkle in the blue and black 59. So, again, Group 1 and Group 2, we'll try to tell you at the end of tonight's race who has captured some money from each group. But Sunday Funday, a little bit of a unique format. We'll talk to the top 3 in the race like we do normally at the end of this thing, but top 5 in each group are going to capture some money tonight. Again, happy to have you with us tonight. If you're brand new to our side of things, welcome to PGR eSports. First of all, I know, again, we got some fans of Isaac Smallwood working the YouTube chat so far. Again, we welcome you in. Thank you for your attendance to tonight's Sunday Funday race. Wanted to get on here very last minute, very laid back, and get to broadcast some of this race and watch these guys go left and right for a little while, which, again, is very new. You could kind of tell there the grip levels, how new this was to some of the guys in the field. I'll tell you what, we're being joined now by the guy who's going to be driving the pace car tonight, Matthew Baker. And, you know, Baker, obviously, road course racing, not typically what we do. A unique format tonight for these guys, a unique setting, I guess you should say. You know, obviously, you're going to be the pace car driver in the eyes in the sky. What are you kind of expecting tonight from Watkins Glen?
Well, watching the two races there, we got two road course ringers out here, Matthew David Wood and Isaac Smallwood. You saw him, like Boris said, and Marcus Ambrose just driving away from the field back in the early O's whenever no one really knew how to run a road course in the Gen 4 car. But it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these guys throw it at each other. No damage on these cars, so they're going to be absolutely sending it. And no fast repairs, only one set of tires. They'll get a caution at halfway, and then we'll just let them slug it out after that.
We are looking forward to it. From Watkins Glen, one of my favorite personal tracks to drive, especially these cars that don't have a ton of grip. And you saw even, again, guys that we've talked about on even the Super Speedway broadcasts before, like a Wyatt Gray, for example. Wyatt Gray, a winner this year in the Road to Pro qualifying series, comes to Watkins Glen. You saw him have a spin in his heat race a few moments ago in the 18. You've seen a couple of guys tonight that you'd expect, maybe to be the ringers of the super speedway side, the big winners. Obviously, Wyatt Grace had as big a 2026 as anybody, arguably bigger with his win back in February. But he comes out here and he has a problem. These guys are going to have to figure it out kind of on the fly. Of course, you saw Smallwood and Matthew David Wood, though. We know what those guys possess coming into this race. They both ran well in their heat race. That's going to be the duel for the win. What I'm curious about is the chaos behind them, as we're seeing in the warm-up session right now. And tell you what, we're actually getting some laps from the pace car as well. Baker going to be driving the pace car tonight, a bit of a unique situation on a Sunday Funday.
Yeah, the pace truck. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely killed Matt Dinda. I hope he's okay.
Might have to get the care flight out for Max Dinda tonight. We might have to get it out for a number of drivers after what we've seen over in Turn 1. They're trying to knock the catch fence down. As we're getting ready to go green here in just a moment as the warm-up session is complete. Buckle up, folks. I'm telling you, we're going to see some chaos tonight. This is going to be a lot of fun with 20 trucks on track at one time at Watkins Glen, all trying to figure out where to brake for Turn 1. It was crazy enough in the heat. It's going to be even crazier here in this feature race. We are gridding for the feature, and as such, we'll take it down trackside and show you what that grid will look like. For this race, the feature of Sunday Funday on the pole, it will be the Tint Solutions Chevrolet of Malik Ray. Wyatt Gray alongside him. Remember the spin he had in his heat race just a few moments ago. Back on row 2, it's Casey Sprinkle in the 59 and Matt Lee in truck number 04, the black, pink, and green Toyota Tundra. Row 3 going to be DJ Thomas in the Mobile One Tundra as well. It'll be David Flanagan alongside him representing the Jack Shack tonight. They've got a number of drivers in tonight's field. Row 4 is Axel Smith, that Precision number 97, and Hunter Reynolds, the Reynolds Wrap Chevy. Another guy expected to run well tonight, making a start in PGR. He'll go from 8th in this feature race. Isaac Smallwood and Matthew David Wood, they ran so well in their heat races a moment ago. They'll start 9th and 10th. Some work to do if they're going to win tonight's Sunday Funday. Trevor Osranoff will go from 11th alongside his Jack Shack teammate and the newest acquired driver for the Jack Shack. Repping his new Jack Shack colors tonight, Cameron Craighead in the 12th position. Row 7 is going to be Quentin Steinbach and Asher Little, the 22 and the 01 respectively. Row 8 going to be Jackson Byes and Matt Patton. They're going to line up 15th and 16th. Quickly getting through the rest of the grid as we're about to go under the green flag. Row 9 going to be James Waring and Ethan Eckert. Row 10 going to be Max Dinda. The 7 of Danny Barnes. Brock Westmoreland and Mike Davenport will line up 21st and 22nd. Back on row number 11, you see the pace truck there, Matthew Baker. Disregard him. Chase Mastretta will go from 24th. So Dustin Cowan, Kevin Haley, or Keith Haley rather, listed on there. I'm not positive either. Will make a start tonight. Sunday Funday from Watkins Glen. Buckle up. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Green flag. We're racing from the Glen. Down to turn 1, 3, 4, 5 wide. Matt Lee, sprinkle trade paint into turn 1 for the first time. Insanity nearly breaks out right off the bat. They're 4 and 5 abreast. Trouble further back. Danny Barnes, Asher Little have gone around as they are still bumping and banging all the way back through the field up through the S's. About as crazy a start as you could ask for. Malik Ray says, thank you very much. I'll take the early lead and try to get away from these guys. Look further back at some of the chaos, though, that's happening back around James Waring. He's gotten around. Ray leads to the bus stop. Big wheel hop for the 10 Solution Chevy. Wyatt Gray forward to second. Sprinkle third. DJ Thomas is fourth. Then it's Flanagan. Keeping an eye on those road course guys. Smallwood is seventh. Matthew David Wood is eighth. 20 laps a long time at Watkins Glen, by the way. This is going to be a really long race. Buckle up. This is a long haul. Trouble. Reynolds, Osbornoff, and others. A stack up a track blocker in turn 5. Oh, no! Westmoreland hooks Steinbach into the outside wall of the carousel. Around he goes. Trevor Osbornoff had a problem back here. Matt Patton had a problem back here. Chaos. Ray away with the lead. We're going to try our best to keep up with everything going on at once, as most of the guys have singled out. Flanagan to the inside. He got around Thomas. Matt Lee into the grass. That's not where you want to run in turn 1. Isaac Smallwood is 10th to 5th in 1 lap. Already to the inside of Matt Lee. Flanagan chasing down the leaders. Gray sprinkled just in front of him as the battle for second as Matthew David Wood attacks DJ Thomas. That's for 7th. Smith trying to go after both of them. Back to the bus stop. Keeping an eye on Smallwood. A big slide there from Jackson Buys. Up ahead. Sprinkle to the inside. That's for second. Casey Sprinkle from McCullough Motorsports. David Flanagan in the 31. Trouble, around goes Matt Lee. I'm not even positive how that happened. The camera angle we were on, I have no idea how that happened. Up front, Malik Ray continues to lead. Sprinkle is second. But we're keeping an eye on the road course ringers. And here comes one to the inside of Wyatt Gray. Trying to get to the inside. Smallwood and Wood, 5th and 6th. This is the duel we all want to watch. Look at how deep Smallwood drives it into turn 1 to the outside of Wyatt Gray. Couldn't make it stick. But the entry speed is there, and on the hunt is the Smirnoff Tundra. He's hunting Wyatt Gray as Gray hunts Flanagan, who's on the run after Casey Sprinkle. Malik Ray has checked completely out, by the way. Let's get the standings up there. Sorry about that. Malik Ray's checked out by 1.7 seconds away from the field. There is a competition caution at the halfway mark. So at the lap 10 mark, there will be a competition caution for these guys to regroup, get back together, and duke it out in the final 10. This is for 4th, but Wood to the inside for 5th. He's going to take him 3 wide. Matthew David Wood to the inside, 3 wide on Gray and Smallwood. He got both of them. Switch back. Here comes Smallwood back to the inside. He'll drive it in deep. His entry speed has been a lot better than most of the guys in the field. Smith with a big slide back around Wyatt Gray. Wood gets away with the spot, but Smallwood chases him. Those two pretty even on pace. We saw their heat races earlier on in the night. Up through the S's. Wood trying to get away as he chases now David Flanagan. Sprinkle chasing Malik Ray. He's gaining some time here. Most of the rest of the field has settled out. Axel Smith on the hunt after Wyatt Gray. That would be the next pass for position here towards the front of the field. Some more guys have had some problems. Matt Patton, take a quick look back there. He has had a problem over here in turn 7. When we go back up here, Flanagan loses 3rd. That's to Matthew David Wood, and Smallwood gets held up. Again, a comp caution coming at lap 10. So for Isaac Smallwood to get into the top 3 right here, I think is all you're really looking for before we get that competition caution. Smith to the inside of Gray. Wyatt Gray slides that back end around all the way through turn 6. That thing is still all kinds of out of shape. Smith on the outside. Gray on the inside of this turn 7. Trouble. Gray makes the save. Thomas looks 3 wide. Here comes DJ Thomas to the inside. 7th on Gray would be for 6th on Smith if he drives it in deep enough here to turn 1. Can't do it. Smith will maintain the spot. DJ Thomas, though, does get the spot there on Wyatt Gray. Jackson Buys looms. This becomes a 4-way battle for 6th spot. Now a 3-way battle for 7th. Thomas starting to drive away as well. Just up ahead. Battle for third, or battle for fourth. Smallwood and David Flanagan. Big wheel hop for Flanagan there in the Jack Shack Tundra. Continue to watch this developing battle for the fourth spot. Meanwhile, the battle is starting to develop for the sixth spot as DJ Thomas has ran Axel Smith back down just behind those guys. That's the Precision Chevrolet, the white, green, and blue Silverado, and the blue, black, and red Mobile One Toyota Tundra. That's DJ Thomas. He's also got Raising Cane's on that truck tonight. Continue to watch this battle, though. This is fourth. Isaac Smallwood, once he gets past David Flanagan, can really settle in. We know the speed he's got underneath that Toyota Tundra entry. Flanagan no slouch, though, on these road courses. It's been all Malik Ray so far. Matthew David Wood, though, is running extremely good lap times. He's run down half a second in one lap. Quick on board with David Flanagan as he works back over to the bus stop. You see just how much throttle control is required or these race cars. Smallwood hops the curb on the exit of turn 5. Flanagan runs a little bit wide. As these two continue to work. The battle for 6th is cooled off with Smith and Thomas. Keep it here, though. Smallwood gains a nice amount there off turn number 7. Gets a nice drive off down onto the front stretch and will get alongside Flanagan. He'll drive deep into turn 1 as he's been doing. Move Isaac Smallwood to the 4th spot. See now if he can chase down the guys in front of him. Now he's got some clean track to work with. Meanwhile, battle next on track is this one for the 8th spot. Wyatt Gray has it. Jackson Byes wants it. The bus stop, this would be the time to do it. A heavy braking zone right here, the right, left, right of the bus stop. The right, left, left, rather, of the bus stop. But Byes can't do it. Gray, another big slide. He's wheel hopped there a couple of times now. It's been the same spot, really, that he has wheel hopped this entire race. It's been that exit curb on the bus stop. Byes gets a nice drive off the carousel. That's turn 5. Meanwhile, just up ahead, this battle might be heating up once again. Smith and DJ Thomas. And to the inside, not quite enough there, but Jackson Byes gets around Wyatt Gray. That's for 8th. And some guy's going to pit here. Wyatt Gray and Cameron Craighead opting to come to pit road with 13 to go. Of course, we know the competition caution is coming up. Max Dynamat Lee also going to pit. Trevor Osmernaut dives off the racetrack. He'll come to pit road. By the way, Matthew David Wood has run down 1.4 seconds in just 3 laps on Malik Ray. He's already to Casey Sprinkle. This would be for 2nd. On the attack, it's Matthew David Wood. Isaac Smallwood is the next truck back from them in 4th. He's not really been able to rekindle the speed that we saw from his heat race. His gap has stabilized a little bit from that 4th position. Matthew David Wood's going to hit pit road. And the caution flag is thrown. Right as Matthew David Wood came down pit road, the caution flag will put a halt to the proceedings, with Malik Ray leading the way so far. It's a little bit earlier than the lap 10 number we were told that the caution would come out. Saw some problems for Asher Little. So the first caution of Sunday Funday, the only planned caution of Sunday Funday, is out here at the 9 lap mark. Malik Ray and Casey Sprinkle, Isaac Smallwood, David Flanagan, and Axel Smith are your top 5. A number of drivers hit pit road that time by. We do know they have one set of tires in the pits, from what I understand. The rest of the field will come down pit road, I imagine, right here. I should get all the way back around to the pace car, and then they will come to pit road. So, entertaining first 10 laps, but I can tell you we haven't seen anything yet, especially now. It's very likely we'll have some different players at the front, guys that short pit the stage, if you will, there. We see it in NASCAR all the time, but not used to seeing it here on the sim racing side, and it's actually fun. We're actually going to get to see the, well, we're going to get to see the pace truck as Matthew Baker wipes out in the pace truck in the S's. So the field will pace behind Matthew Baker in that trophy truck. You do see the pace car, but just disregard that. And Matthew Baker is going to do some drifting here as the pace truck. Ray, Sprinkle, Smallwood, Flanagan, Smith, Thomas, Buys, Little, Reynolds, Westmoreland, the top 10. It's been all Malik Ray so far, although imagine you'll put Matthew David Wood out front here, and could very well be all she wrote for the field, especially with Isaac Smallwood having to come down pit road right here. Perhaps coming down pit road. They may not pit. These guys up front, they may very well stay out. If they put Matthew David Wood back in 12th, that's where he does have to restart here. That's going to be... Whoa. We got some fisticuffs going on back here. I thought we did. Asher Little and Brock Westmoreland and company, but no harm, no foul. Oh, we do. Asher Little punch, Jackson Buys, tempers flaring. In the figurative sense, I can't imagine these guys are actually mad at each other, but a little bit of contact there. Asher Little to Jackson Buys. No damage on the trucks, keep in mind. These guys are not inflicting damage on each other. They're just having some fun. Trucks coming in, some trucks staying out. Malik Ray stays out. Isaac Smallwood stays out. David Flanagan stays out. DJ Thomas stays out. 4 other trucks choosing to stay out here. Hunter Reynolds, Cameron Craighead, Wyatt Gray, and Ethan Eckert. Of course, Gray, Craighead, a couple of other trucks came down pit road. Dinda all came down pit road before the stage, or this competition caution. Matthew David Wood is going to line up 12th. That's going to be a very interesting situation here for Matthew David Wood. If he wants to win the outright race, of course, could still win his group. Let's give you an idea of who would be in money spots for their groups right now. Of course, we know Malik Ray would. Isaac Smallwood also being in Group 2. David Flanagan also in Group 2. Those are the top 3 in Group 2. Hunter Reynolds is 4th in that second group. Wyatt Gray, I believe, is 5th. No, it's not Wyatt Gray. It is Ethan Eckert that runs 5th in that second group. Group 1, DJ Thomas leads the way right now in the 1. He'll restart 4th here, but he is the leader of Group 1. Cameron Craighead 2nd in that first group. Then it's Wyatt Gray. And then it's, you have to look all the way back to, you have to look past Trevor Osborne. Matthew David Wood, I think, is 4th in that grouping. All the way back in the 12th spot. So a few guys, including DJ Thomas, in a good spot here to potentially win some money, even if they don't finish top 3 in the outright race. But still a long way to go, by the way. There's still a lot of chaos to happen. This is a big opportunity here for Isaac Smallwood. We've heard about some of the road course prowess, and with Matthew Wood now running back in 12th, not a lot of time to go in the race. If Smallwood can get past Malik Ray, he could very well set sail here to where Matthew David Wood, he could have something happen here on the restart, or he could just get held up enough trying to make passes. It takes him too long to make anything happen and get back to the front. This could be the moment for Smallwood to take away a victory over the PGR regulars tonight, mark his stamp on PGR's record books. Tonight from Watkins Glen, Matthew Baker in the pace truck, is going to jump down to pit road. Malik Ray, Isaac Smallwood, and the rest of the field back into the restart zone. Green flag. And fan out down to turn 1. Osborne to the fence. Dinda throws the block. Flanagan may look 3 wide for the lead. Look at Matthew David Wood. 5 wide trouble. Around goes Matt Lee. Right in the middle of the field. Osborne gets collected a little bit there. They all keep it going straight as Matthew David Wood throws it 3 wide on the restart to get to 10th. Big contact there. Smith and Chase. Mistretta trouble. Buys is around off Matt Lee. He's up on the outside wall. Buys gets the rear tires. Oh my goodness. Westmoreland piles in. Shades of 2010 in the nationwide race. Meanwhile, up front, a change for the lead. Isaac Smallwood out front at Watkins Glen and pulling away. Through the grass goes Dinda. He doesn't spin. He comes back on track. Chase Mistretta is going to attack him there. Trouble behind them. Matt Patton went around to the 3 for Dega Pros. Osborne and Little both go wide. Matthew David Wood is up to 6th. 12th to 6th in a lap and a half. Smallwood trying to run away. Isaac Smallwood leads. Now the trouble for Matthew David Wood is going to be he's got to pass 4 trucks to even get to the leader, Isaac Smallwood. He's got to not only run down 4 trucks, he's got to pass them. This is for 4th. DJ Thomas to the inside. Currently, I believe, still the leader of that first group. No, it's actually Cameron Craighead now. Craighead, the leader of the first group. Thomas is second, then Wood. Then Gray. And then Axel Smith. Those will be the guys that cash right now back to the 10th spot with Smith. Thomas gets repassed by Flanagan. He'll get passed by Wood for 5th here down the S's to the bus stop. Trying to hang on is DJ Thomas. Meanwhile, up front, could have a battle for the lead developing. Malik Ray on the back bumper of Isaac Smallwood. Smallwood trying to play defense. 8 laps to go will become 7 when they work back around to the start-finish line. A blink there from Smallwood. Another one. Matthew David Wood is within 2 seconds, but has not gained as much time this time around on the Delta that he did on the last run. It's been pretty steady right around that 2-second number. Malik Ray's a different story. He's there, and he wants to lead. Cameron Craighead is not too far behind this if these guys get into it. Wyatt Gray drops a couple of spots. He's all the way back to 13th as he's had a bit of a problem off turn 7. Looking out the bumper of the leader. Matthew David Wood back to 1.4 seconds. He will get there on the trajectory they're on right now. But again, getting there is one thing. Passing these guys is an entirely different one. He already got past Flanagan. That was for 4th. He may try to outbreak Craighead right here in the bus stop. No, he will not. Some time to have some patience. With the Craighead machine, this is the battle for 3rd. Craighead has it. Wood wants it, but he can't wait too long. With Smallwood and Malik Ray ahead of them still, he's got to get around this if he wants to get in the battle for the win, but he's got to pick his moments here. Big gap, by the way, back from Thomas to Hunter Reynolds. So DJ Thomas continues his good run. He's in 6th, the best seat in the house. This battle going on in front of him. Wood crosses right to left, trying to get to the outside of Craighead. It did not work, and he loses time there in turn 7. 6 laps to go. Back up front of the battle for the lead. Smallwood and Malik Ray. This also is the battle for the win in Group 2. Matthew Wood is leading Group 1, or rather Craighead, then Wood, then DJ Thomas. Mistretta, Eckert, a couple of others have crashed. Eckert's crashed on the exit of turn 1 along with Mistretta and Westmoreland. Smallwood continues to lead. Deep entry to the bus stop. He's wheel hopping like crazy down there. Now he's pulled about a 4-car length gap on Malik Ray. Wood still stuck behind Craighead. Smallwood, Ray are racing each other for the overall win and the lead in group number 2. Matthew Wood is racing Cameron Craighead for the win in group 1. Wood just made the pass. He's up to 3rd. So he leads group 1. This is the battle for the win in group 2. Flanagan is also in group 2. He is racing these two trucks up here. Thomas is racing Wood and Craighead. Reynolds is in group 2 with Ray, Smallwood, and David Flanagan. Casey Sprinkle is also in group 2. Back down to the bus stop. Ray is within a car length of Smallwood as he tries to capture both the group 2 win and the outright win. Down through the carousel, turn 5. They got the 5 at the flag stand last time by. This continues to be a really good battle between these two trucks up front. Malik Ray led the early portion of the race, but Isaac Smallwood had speed earlier in his heat race. The road course ringer in the Smirnoff Tundra now pulls about another couple of car lengths on Malik Ray, but Matthew David Wood is closing. Again, he is not racing these two for money, just for the outright win. So again, keep that in mind. These two up front, the 10 and the 1, are racing for the win in group 2. Matthew David Wood, if things finished right now, as Malik Ray slides a little bit off turn 1, if things finished right now, Matthew David Wood could finish 3rd and would make the same amount of money that Isaac Smallwood's going to make for finishing in the first overall position. Which could tell you even more, or even less to lose for him, perhaps. Back down to the bus stop. Ray back within 2 car lengths. Matthew David Wood is there, but again, got to try to pass Malik Ray and then get to Smallwood and pass him. Craighead is 4th. Flanagan is 5th. Thomas 6th. We'll shuffle out the groups in a moment when this race gets done and over with. Matt Lee's had a problem in the 0-4. He's gone off track. Back to turn 6. Smallwood continues to lead. Smallwood won Heat 2. Matthew David Wood won Heat 1. Malik Ray started on pole. The 3 best trucks in the field so far tonight have 3 more circuits around Watkins Glen. Smallwood continues to lead the way. Up the hill, through the gears. Wood to 2nd around Malik Ray in turn 1. The battle we all wanted to see since the heat races went checkered, we're going to get it after all. Smallwood and Matthew Wood, mono for the win in virtual upstate New York. Smallwood through the bus stop, big wheel hops for both. Shades of Ambrose and Keselowski in 2012. Through the carousel, Wood, I think, is the faster truck. Off turn 5, back down to turn 6. When they get back, it's 2 laps to go. Craighead lurks. Meanwhile, DJ Thomas under attack further back from Casey Sprinkle and Hunter Reynolds. That does not affect his money position. Both drivers are in Group 2. Thomas continues to be the 3rd best driver in Group 1. The next position for him would be Axel Smith, who's a little ways behind those guys. It's actually a big buffer. You see those 3 come off turn 4? There is Axel Smith, top of your screen. 2 laps to go. Way wide goes Smallwood in turn 1. He's got a lift side by side. Smallwood back to the inside of the S's. Both these drivers trying to give it everything they have. Wood completes the pass. Now an opportunity to switch back here for Smallwood. He could choose to go to the inside of this braking zone of the bus stop if he so chooses. He will not. He will settle for 2nd for right now. Matthew David Wood to the race lead. Ray trying to attack Smallwood for the lead in Group 2. Keep that in mind. Those two are racing for more than just the overall win. They're racing each other for the money in Group 2. Wood a little bit wide over here in Turn 5. Ray goes to attack Isaac Smallwood. He's going to lean to his left in Turn 6. Down to the inside. Almost some contact there. Smallwood slams the door in his face. Malik Ray, right on the back bumper of Smallwood. Back to the start-finish line. A white flag is up for Sunday Funday. Wood starts to drive away. The best car in his heat race, the best car in qualifying. Trying to complete what would be an all-time comeback. 12th to 1st on a last restart if he can complete this last half a lap. Meanwhile, this is the battle for the win in Group 2. Wood is handily running away with the win in Group 1. Almost trouble for Craighead. That would have affected Group 1 standings. He's able to keep it underneath him. Thomas gives up a spot to Reynolds after giving up a spot to Casey Sprinkle. Again, neither of those affect his cash position here. He's likely locked in to the 3rd position on the racetrack if he can come back around and finish the race. The battle begins to fizzle for 2nd overall in the win in Group 2. A couple of road course ringers came over to run Sunday Funday. They show up, they show out. They're going to win both groups and the outright race. Matthew David Wood, how about that comeback? He wins Sunday Funday in Watkins Glen. He also wins Group 1, and Isaac Smallwood captures the win in Group 2. So they both essentially win the same amount of money and let the chaos begin in Turn 1. Someone just went off in their full speed. Oh my goodness. A couple of cars are off running into Turn 1 full speed as the crashing happens after the line. Oh my goodness! Jackson Buys has cleared the tire barrier. They're still crashing down there. Let's see if Matt Patton hits one here. There's still big crashing down here. Oh my goodness. In the end, it's Matthew David Wood that wins. He may try to drift the rest of the track. Look at this. Look at this. Whoa, went a little too far there. Come off turn 7. Do a well-earned victory burnout here on the front straightaway. Matthew David Wood, he wins Sunday Funday tonight from Watkins Glen. And immediately leaves the racetrack before he could do a burnout. I was not prepared for that. Well, let's show you the results tonight from Sunday Funday. We'll tell you as well who cashed in each group right after we get through the full results. Matthew Wood wins from Watkins Glen. Isaac Smallwood goes second, but Blake Ray goes in the 3rd spot. David Flanagan finishes in 4th overall tonight with Casey Sprinkle back in the 5th spot. Hunter Reynolds recovers to finish 6th with DJ Thomas in the 7th position. Wyatt Gray finishes in 8th. Jackson Buys in 9th, and Trevor Osbornoff goes from the 10th overall spot. Matthew Patton in 11th. Danny Barnes in 12th. Mike Davenport 13th. Brock Westmoreland in 14th, Ethan Eckert in 15th, or rather James Waring in 15th, Ethan Eckert 16th, Cameron Craighead 17th, Axel Smith 18th, Asher Little 19th, Matt Lee in 20th, Max Dinda back in at 21st, Quentin Steinbach 22nd, and Chase Mistretta from 23rd. Here's how the groups panned out. So let's go back up to the top here. We'll show you visually how these groups panned out. So here are how they will line up as we wait for the top 3 overall in the race to join the waiting room, and we get some interviews here at the end of tonight's race. In Group 1, of course, Matthew David Wood with the overall win captures the win in Group number 1. Going second to him will be, I actually thought it was going to be Cameron Craighead. I don't see him on here. He scored 17th. He's listed as 5th, so unofficially it would be Matthew David Wood and then Cameron Craighead, and then DJ Thomas, followed up by Wyatt Gray with an 8th place run. Actually, it would be Axel Smith with a 9th place run, if our unofficial scoring is correct. Asher Little would be the final driver cashing in that group. So again, Group 1, money unofficially, Matthew Wood, Cameron Craighead, DJ Thomas, Axel Smith, and Asher Little. Group 2, Isaac Smallwood, Malik Ray, David Flanagan, Casey Sprinkle, and Hunter Reynolds are your money spot finishers tonight from Watkins Glen. We will start to try to get these guys into the waiting room. I see a couple of them ready already. Let's see if we can't get the other one. Of course, we're waiting for all 3 of your top 3 overall finishers tonight to get in to the waiting room. We'll see if we can get our 3rd place finisher in here in just a moment. So we'll go reverse order tonight. We'll start with a man who is in victory lane for what I recall is the first time in his PGR career. Granted, it's a Sunday Funday, but it'll count nonetheless. For a guy who had the best speed all night long and captures the victory tonight from Watkins Glen, it is the 6 on your timing and scoring. It was the 21 on the side of the truck. Matthew David Wood captures the win in Sunday Funday from Watkins Glen. Matthew, it's Dawson, the broadcast booth. You get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, about as dominant as you could possibly get in terms of raw speed. Obviously, we saw you win the heat race early, and then in the race, it looked like you were on track to do the same thing. Made up a ton of spots before that stage break, that competition caution. We're going to start on the restart after that, though. You come to pit road just before that caution comes out. A lot of guys stay out on that caution. You end up restarting 12th. Take me through that run back to the front, how you went from 12th to 1st overall in just a matter of laps here at the end of this one.
Well, first of all, I'm blessed to be here. It was a really fun experience. I think this is my first race with PGR, so very fun. I got to thank everybody for letting me be in here. It was very fun. But going through the field, just trying to manage the rear tires, not get them overheated. Just making the right moves when I could. I kept it clean. That's what I wanted to do, is mainly keep it clean. Had a few run. I think I had a run in at turn 1. We were about 4 or 5 wide, and ran into Trev there. But no, honestly, some very, very clean racing on my part. Just an incredible battle there for the lead. All 3 of us, we were absolutely flying there, and Isaac gave me room. I tried to give Isaac as much room as possible. Malik as well. Just a lot of respect there, and I love road courses, and this is my go-to, road courses and short tracks. So it was a lot of fun.
Well, obviously we saw, a lot of you guys struggling with grip throughout the night. Is that something that you expected coming in? Was that something with the setup or the weather conditions? Kind of take us through what it felt like inside the cockpit. We could see, even the fastest trucks on track really struggling with handling tonight. Kind of what went into that as well.
Well, NASCARs in general, especially when the Gen 6 was around, so the Cup Series is more I guess, ground effect with the diffuser now, so it's not as much like that anymore. But with the Xfinity and truck, they're off the ground, but they still have a lot of horsepower. So that causes a lot of wheel spin. It's all about throttle management. And the track was a bit hot. I mean, no matter what, you were going to have some sliding in this race, I think. I believe the track, it's 80 degrees, but hot. I have experienced about 130 degrees on this track, and that is not fun whatsoever. But yeah, it's just, especially with the trucks, because the back end is so light, it's all about throttle management and getting it through the center without sliding. And, some people are just naturally into that more than others, and Malik's really good at that. Isaac's extremely good at that from what I was watching. The reason I got past him was because he had a little moment in turn 1. But again, I got to thank Outlier, Speedco. We have the best setups on iRacing. We do second best, I think. But I think it's an honor to be here. It really is, because I haven't really done much. I'm just trying to prove myself, prove that I can do it, prove that there is something there for me, and getting my name out there is something that this really helps with. PGR, I think, has helped me a lot on super speedways already. That was my kryptonite, and just got to thank God for sending Jesus Christ down for us, and what a weekend it has been.
Well, look, obviously a win today on Easter Sunday, no less, for this Sunday Funday. And you mentioned obviously your first race with PGR tonight, so it begs the question: can we expect to see you back in more of the weekly promotions? Obviously, we got some things coming up tomorrow night as well as Thursday night. Can we expect to see you back more here on the PGR side of things?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll be here quite a bit, especially in the light series. I'll be racing the light series, so it's gonna be fun.
That'll be a lot of fun. Looking forward to sharing the track with you here tomorrow night for the Light Series. Before we let you go, one more opportunity before you go, let you celebrate this victory in Sunday Funday. Anybody else you'd like to thank or shout out on the way out the door?
Of course, the entirety of Jack Shack, they're helping me a lot with again the whole super speedway side. I just couldn't figure it out, and they've done a lot to help me. The whole reason I'm there is because of Flanagan, so I got to thank Flanagan for even getting me there. But again, just got to thank everybody supporting me and everybody that supports PGR. And this is a good series. This is a good esport. I mean, it's incredible.
What a lot of fun it was tonight at Watkins Glen. Matthew, congratulations on the win tonight, Sunday Funday. Thanks for taking a second of your time to talk to us up here in the booth. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will see you tomorrow night for the Light Series opener.
God bless everybody. Thank you.
Matthew David Wood, winner tonight, PGR Sunday Funday from Watkins Glen. Another one of the men that took the field by storm tonight, as I have learned, a driver over in the Midnight Racing League, the 10 of Isaac Smallwood. Second overall, but first in his group tonight in the money. Let's get a word from him and see what he's got to say about his efforts tonight from Watkins Glen. We'll see if we'll see him back a little bit on the PGR side of things as well. Isaac, it's Dawson in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
What's going on?
Not too much. Look, a debut tonight for you on the PGR side of things, at least from all of my accounts here in Sunday Funday, and went in with a bang. You win your heat race, you run well, lead laps tonight. Coming to the end of this one, obviously we knew the speed that was underneath the Matthew David Wood truck. You have the lead late. You're in a battle with Malik Ray. Matthew David Wood comes up. He makes the pass. Is there anything you could have done differently to capture the overall victory tonight? Of course, you do win your group, but is there anything you could have done a little bit different to go to overall victory lane here tonight at Watkins Glen?
Yeah, I mean, I could have had the 8-lap fresher tires. Matthew, he had the 8-lap fresher tires there, and ultimately, I was just trying to stay out front, keep the track position, because I knew it would be a little bit tougher to come up through the field. I think we had a little discussion, and he restarted like 18th, so I was like, I'll rather start second than P18. So I was just trying to hold on. I held on as long as I could. But yeah, like you said, debut. I mean, I'll take it. I'll take a P2 overall and P1 in my group, so I'll take it.
Well, obviously, your first start here with the PGR side of things, you've now gotten to race around these guys. Kind of, take me through your first impressions of what racing around this group of drivers is like here as you get off the racetrack with a P2 finish.
Yeah, definitely. These guys here, they're no joke. You really have to be on your A game here, and that's kind of what I did. It might be a Sunday Funday race, but there's still some of the best in here, and you got to stay focused and hit your marks every lap. And that's kind of what, I look for and trying to help me get better on and off the racetrack. So, yeah, good group of guys here. And if I don't change my mind, I might do a little bit more of these races in the PGR.
Well, that's going to be my last question for you is, now you've gotten, obviously, your first impression out there. It's a podium finish. It's a group win tonight as well for you. So walking away with a nice chunk of change. Can we expect to see you more here on the PGR side of things? Obviously, the Light Series gets going tomorrow night. The Thursday Series, a couple of other weekly promotions as well. Can we expect to see you around a little bit more on the PGR side of things here going forward?
Yeah, most definitely. I'll have to get with the guys and we'll look at the schedule, see what it looks like. If I can swing it, we can. But most likely, I will be showing up a little bit more often.
Well, obviously looking forward to that. A P2 overall for you tonight, but a group win is going to mean the same amount of money for you when we leave Watkins Glen, New York. So before we let you go and celebrate your winnings tonight in your PGR debut, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to shout out Trev. You know, he 15 minutes left. Him and Gordon, they were messaging me and seeing if I wanted to race, and I was like, you know, heck, why not? Even though I got to work tomorrow, we're going to give it a shot and see what happens. And I mean, I can't thank them enough.
Well, Isaac, congrats on the second place finish tonight. Overall, congrats on the group win as well tonight in Sunday Funday. Thanks for talking to us here in the broadcast booth. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will see you soon.
Alrighty, see you.
Isaac Smallwood, second tonight from Watkins Glen in Sunday Funday. We'll wrap things up with the last podium finisher overall. Second in Group 2 tonight. Had a ton of speed underneath his tint solution, Chevy. You're used to hearing his name in PGR, and he continues it here. In a Sunday Funday, it's Malik Ray, who finishes third tonight from the Glen.
Are you not getting...
Malik is tossing the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yo.
Sorry about that. Didn't mean to cut you off. But look, a fun one tonight from Watkins Glen. You know, obviously trading the lead late with Isaac Smallwood, starting up front on that last run to the checkered flag. Matthew David Wood comes up. You guys have a bit of a three-way battle. Is there anything, looking back on it, that you guys could have done differently there to maybe put yourself in victory lane?
If I didn't miss the shift on the initial lap of the restart, I was bouncing off the tack, and he already had me cleared before turn 1. And then that kind of like, you know, they just set my fate for the last like 10 laps. I wasn't going to move him or nothing like that because I know he's a really clean driver and he doesn't race like that. So that was my own fault for, you know, I missed the shift, and then that it put me behind him. It's not like he was slow or anything. It's just I would have been faster if I was in clean air. So that's not really anything on his part. That's just on my end.
Well, look, obviously, coming into tonight, we knew that you were one of the guys in the field that had some road course experience, more so than the PGR regulars, obviously getting to race, you know, on all different kinds of tracks with your experience in the professional levels of this oval racing series and getting onto the road courses. So, you know, coming into tonight, pre-race, and then once you got into the race, you know, kind of how did the race unfold as compared to maybe your expectations of what we were going to see in the trucks at Watkins Glen?
I was learning in my heat. I didn't have any laps before that, so like I had the 3 practice laps of heat. I was watching Matthew Wood because I think he ran like a 112 something. So like I watched his braking points, and then I just did that, and then I mean, like, it worked out for the most part. I didn't know that he was going to invert the field, so that also helped me because I started first. And then after that, it was pretty, you know, it wasn't easy. Like, I was still having to learn, but at the same time, it's like it wasn't like too difficult or anything like that. So I thought the race was pretty good. I liked the car and the track. There's not really anything else I would change of it. I don't know, maybe make the session like a little hotter next time, but that's about it. Outside of that, like I enjoyed the combo a lot.
Well, it segues nicely into my last question, and that's obviously PGR not really used to the road courses, obviously being primarily on the super speedways, but in this, you know, new era, if you will, starting to branch out onto these different tracks. Now a road course race under the belt of the field. Do you feel like road course racing is something that could maybe take hold in PGR? Is it something you want to see more of here going forward into the future?
Yes, I would like to see more of it. Anything that like involves you having to have like some type of a skill gap, I'm all for it. So yeah, like I don't mind doing stuff like that. I hope there's more, you know, there's more of them.
Well, third tonight overall for you in Watkins Glen, second in the group. A good night overall for you in the Tint Solutions Chevy. So before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to thank or shout out?
You guys for broadcasting, Logitech and Tint Solutions. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
Malik, thanks for the time. Congrats on the third place finish and the second place finish in your group tonight. Go enjoy it. Go celebrate. We will see you soon.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Malik Ray, third tonight from Watkins Glen in Sunday Funday. That's going to start to wrap things up here from Watkins Glen. A little brief last-minute broadcast for you tonight from virtual upstate New York. And a chaotic night it was. Maybe not quite as chaotic as we all thought it would be. Although a couple of those restarts were pretty chaotic, to say the absolute least. Road racing now under the belt of the field here in PGR. It's now brought on the dawn of another new horizon for PGR. Of course, over the last year or so, PGR has been trying to diversify its product beyond super speedways. PGR eSports started a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago now, as only a super speedway money racing promotion. It was every week. It would be Daytona, Talladega. Eventually it became Atlanta, obviously, once Atlanta got into the rotation. And every now and then they might do something a little bit different. But over the past year or so, there's been a concerted effort, or a concentrated effort rather, to try to diversify the product, to run other car track combos, to get onto the 1.5 miles, to get onto the short tracks, to get on now to the road courses, which is another frontier that PGR has now crested through these types of formats like Sunday Funday and like the Light Series, which I'll talk about in just a moment, because by the way, that starts tomorrow night, 24 hours from now. Let's talk about that in just a moment. But PGR continues to break through and blaze its own trail in terms of how it runs as a promotion. And tonight we saw another new facet with road course racing. It was chaotic, as we somewhat expected it to be because of the format, the short race, the no damage. Obviously, we expected a little bit of chaos. But what we saw tonight, I think, is potential. There was some good racing tonight, some great battles between some of the guys that are regulars on the PGR scene that, and I'm obviously rambling a little bit here at the end of this broadcast, but some of these guys in the field, we talk about the professional experience that Malik Ray has. We talk about the kind of ringers that came in here. We know what Matthew David Wood brings to the table. We now know what Isaac Smallwood can bring to the table from the Midnight Group. But some of these guys that are regulars on the PGR eSports side of things, for example, I'll take a guy in David Flanagan. They run other cars. They run other tracks. They run other styles of racing, other forms of racing that are completely different from just NASCAR sanctioned cars on super speedways. That's not all these guys run. They go off and they do their own thing in official racing and all kinds of different oval official series and other oval leagues, like Midnight Racing League, for example. They do road racing. I know a number of guys are endurance racers now, including myself, obviously, with all of us getting some experience this year at Daytona and Sebring a couple of weeks ago. So, the guys in the field, although you'll only see them run super speedways, these guys have varied skill sets. They are good on more than just super speedways. They are talented race car drivers, and that's what we got tonight. We got to see a display of it. A number of guys had really impressive runs. Of course, again, Matthew David Wood, Isaac Smallwood, Malik Ray, we know what they bring to the table, and we know how well they ran tonight. But David Flanagan runs 4th tonight. Impressive. Cameron Craighead runs 5th tonight. Impressive. Casey Sprinkle runs 6th, ran 2nd for a numerous portion of this race. The Hunter Reynolds of the world. Reynolds is a guy who's been on the Super Speedway League side of things for years at this point. Embedded in several pretty big name leagues on the Super Speedway side of things. He ran 7th tonight. A number of guys, DJ Thomas, Axel Smith, Asher Little, really you can look all the way down through the field. These guys are talented race car drivers beyond just pinning the gas down and turning left and doing Super Speedway racing. These guys can turn left and right. They can get in different cars. They can get in different combos. They can adapt. They can practice. They can get good on other types of tracks. And then they can go show it, and that's what we got here tonight from Watkins Glen. So these guys aren't just super speedway ringers, although it might seem like it sometimes. I promise you, there's so much talent in this field. Let's talk about the Light Series, shall we? Tomorrow night, the night a lot of us have been waiting for. The PGR Light Series returns with Simrat Market as a presenting sponsor. We want to thank them for their sponsorship of the Light Series this season. And we return tomorrow with a combo that opened last season, ARCA cars at Talladega. It should be an absolute banger of a race for the biggest and baddest on the NASCAR circuit tomorrow. Of course, not going to hear my voice tomorrow. You'll likely hear Austin Green. I'll be on track, excited to get to run the Light Series this season. We finished up our plans for our stable, our team that's going to run this season. We're working on getting our final prep done for that race tomorrow night. Excited to get to run with a great group of teammates tomorrow, several of which you saw in this race tonight. I'm looking forward to getting to run with them tomorrow night in the Light Series and get this season underway. Looking forward to being back on the racetrack as well. So there'll likely be Austin Green on the call. Here's how that series is going to work just briefly. It will be every Monday night for the next several weeks. It'll be 7 regular season races starting tomorrow with the ARCA Menard Series at Talladega. We'll go to Bristol and Atlanta in the trucks. We'll go to Daytona in the O'Reilly car. We'll go to Michigan in the trucks, Talladega in the Gen 6, Kansas in the ARCA Menard Series car. And then May 25th, we'll take an off week for the end of the regular season, and then a 4-race playoff with trucks at Daytona, O'Reilly cars at Atlanta, Next Gens at Talladega, and then ARCA at Daytona to end off the season. The top 10 are going to make actually what's been called the chase. It does say playoffs on the schedule graphic, but it is a chase. No win and you're in. It's all based on points. Consistency is key for all 7 weeks. It's going to be so much fun, and it all starts tomorrow night with the Arkham Menards Series cars from Talladega. We're looking forward to that one. It's going to get started a little earlier than it did last season. Around 10 p.m. Eastern is when that race is going to go green. Hope to have you along for the ride all season in the Light Series. That's going to just about do it for us from Sunday Funday from Watkins Glen. We look forward to seeing you once again tomorrow for the Light Series and Thursday for the running of the Intimidator Super Speedway Series as it continues its new season on forward this week. ARCA cars at Daytona. We look forward to seeing you this week throughout the week. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for the Light Series opener. You've been watching PGR eSports coverage of the Sunday Funday race from Watkins Glen. Congratulations to Matthew David Wood and Isaac Smallwood for winning their respective groups tonight at Watkins Glen in what was a heck of a night of racing. My name's Dawson Wise. Thank you so much for your attendance tonight from the Glen. We hope to see you later on this week for all of the racing that happens here on PGR eSports. For Baker, for Michael Triscaro, for all the folks at PGR eSports. Again, I'm Dawson Wise. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. Have a great week. We'll see you tomorrow from